Uh, Stories about daughters and dads are, I may have shared, is something that I do like to expose my audience to. So whenever I have the opportunity and I meet a daughter that has a daddy-daughter relationship, I like to explore that. So if you don't mind, would you mind sharing?
Yeah, my father was a single teen father. He had my sister when he was 17 and me when he was 19, and didn't have a partner that was helping him raise us. He raised us with the help of his mother, my grandma, who's also very present in the book, and some aunts and uncles, his siblings. It takes a village, but really, for a while there, it was us. It was my father and his two little girls, and so we have a very close relationship because of kind of that season of only having him to look to. I think I definitely experience my father, even to this day, somewhat in like a heroic fashion, but as I've gotten older, I've started to kind of contend with the complexity of him. Is not all hero, he's certainly not a villain, but yeah, I think as I've made sense of that, so in the book, I eventually talk about his addiction, but I wait a long time before I even mention it. There are no allusions to it. There's no foreshadowing, and that's very intentional because I wanted the reader to fall in love with my father the way that I love him and not reduce him to this singular story that I think Black men and women are often reduced to. So I wait to share that, but I do share it in the end because I think it's an important part of seeing our parents as human and not our saviors, but kind of real and complex humans that had lives and thoughts and traumas before they had us, or before we knew they did. And yeah, I'm still quite close to him today, and I feel very grateful to have a father who is so both like me and unlike me. A lot of people assume I come from a family of readers, a family of kind of intellectuals. My father is the first to admit, like, he probably hasn't picked up a book in a decade, but he saw something in me and knew his little shy daughter, was gonna need a way to communicate with the world, to exist in the world. And so he was the person who introduced me to writing. Even though he's nothing of a writer himself, he would have us write in our journal every day. He didn't read it. It didn't matter what we wrote, just as long as we were writing. And once he realized that I was quite shy and having a lot of speech delays, I had something called selective mutism. He began kind of paying us. He would like bribe us to write stories and poems to get out of chores, or for money at times. It's like you could, dust the baseboards or write me a poem on this word. And I think that's such a creative and subversive way to parent, and to have that intuition as a father, as a man, I think is really beautiful and not often celebrated.